The first day at Crestwood High was supposed to be a fresh start for Lila, a quiet 16-year-old who had just moved from another state with her father, James Carter, a widowed Army veteran. Lila had always been shy, preferring sketching flowers and listening to soft music instead of parties and selfies. Her mother had passed away 2 years earlier from cancer, and since then, Lila's long, chestnut brown hair was more than just hair. It was her connection to her mother, who used to braid it every morning before school. But the moment Lila stepped into her new school, she could feel the stares. Her thrift store clothes and old backpack made her stand out among the flashy crowd, especially to Brittany, the self-proclaimed queen bee of Crestwood, who ruled the hallways with her two loyal friends, Amber and Tessa. When Brittany saw Lila quietly eating alone in the cafeteria, she smirked. "New girl thinks she's too good for us," she whispered. And that was the moment Lila unknowingly became their next target. At first, the bullying was subtle, snide comments, accidental spills on her notebooks, and cruel laughter behind her back. But as days passed, it grew bolder. Someone wrote "loser" on her locker in lipstick. Her art sketches were torn and thrown in the trash. Still, Lila never told her father. She knew he had already sacrificed so much, losing his wife, changing jobs, moving towns, all to give her a peaceful life. She didn't want to burden him with her pain. But Brittany wasn't satisfied. "We should do something unforgettable," she said one afternoon, her tone dripping with mischief. Her friends looked hesitant, but Brittany was relentless. "Let's give her a new look, one she'll never forget." The idea was cruel: to cut, or worse, shave Lila's hair in front of everyone. Amber nervously laughed it off, but Brittany meant it. The plan was to trick Lila into joining them for a makeover video, something they said was for social media. Lila, desperate to fit in, hesitated, but when Brittany smiled sweetly and said, "Come on, we just want to be friends," she finally agreed, hoping this could be her chance to blow. Saturday came. Lila arrived at Brittany's house, nervous but hopeful. The camera was already set up, the ring light glowing. "It's just for fun," Brittany chirped, handing her a seat in front of the mirror. "You'll look amazing, trust me." The girls laughed and whispered behind her as they brushed her long hair. For a moment, Lila smiled. It felt nice to be included. But then, without warning, Brittany pulled out electric clippers. The loud buzz filled the room. "Wait, what are you doing?" Lila cried, panic in her voice. "Relax, it's just a trim." Brittany laughed, but the first chunk of Lila's hair hit the floor before she could stop it. The camera captured everything. Amber's laughter turned nervous, Tessa froze, but Brittany kept going. Lila's tears streamed down her cheeks as she begged them to stop, but Brittany sneered. "Now you'll finally fit in, bald and broken." When it was over, Lila stared at her reflection, her mother's hair gone. Her trembling hand reached up to touch the uneven stubble as she sobbed uncontrollably. Brittany uploaded the video that night, captioned, "Makeover gone wrong, face with tears of joy." And by morning, it had gone viral. When Lila came home that night, she wore a hoodie pulled tight around her face. Her father was in the kitchen cooking dinner when he saw her trembling. "Lila," he asked softly. She didn't speak, just pulled off her hood. The sight made James drop the pan. His daughter's beautiful hair gone, her eyes red from crying. "Who did this?" His voice was low but shaking. She broke down in his arms, sobbing as she showed him the viral video on her phone. James' military calm cracked. This wasn't just bullying, it was cruelty. The next morning, he marched into Crestwood High, not as a soldier, but as a father who had seen his child destroyed. The principal tried to calm him, but he demanded every student involved be expelled. When Brittany's mother, a wealthy socialite, arrived, she tried to smooth things over with money and excuses. "Girls will be girls," she said dismissively. But James stepped closer, his voice steady. "No, girls should be kind. You raised a monster." His words silenced the entire room. News spread fast. By lunchtime, every student was talking about the bald girl's dad who stood up to the bullies. In the days that followed, something remarkable happened. Other students began to approach Lila, not with mockery, but with empathy. Some posted messages of support under her video. One art teacher started a campaign about kindness and self-worth, using Lila's story as a lesson. The local news station even reached out for an interview. Lila was hesitant at first. She didn't want more attention, but her father told her, sometimes sharing your pain helps others heal too. So she spoke publicly, her shaved head uncovered, her voice trembling but strong. "You can take my hair," she said, "but not my spirit." The clip went viral again, this time for the right reasons. People from all over the world sent her messages of love and solidarity. Even Amber and Tessa showed up at her door one evening, tears in their eyes, apologizing for what they had done. Lila forgave them, not because they deserved it, but because she needed to be free from hate. Months later, Lila's hair began to grow back, soft, short, and full of life. She started an online art page called Roots of Courage, where she painted portraits of people who had faced bullying or loss. Her father helped her ship her artwork, proud beyond words. Brittany, on the other hand, faced serious consequences, expelled from school, her family's reputation shattered. But Lila never gloated. "I don't want revenge," she told her father. "I just want peace." One spring morning, as they stood by her mother's grave, James smiled at his daughter. "She'd be proud of you," he whispered. Lila touched her short hair and smiled softly. "I think she already knows." The sun broke through the clouds, shining on them both, a symbol of healing, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a father and his daughter. What began as cruelty ended in courage, proving that sometimes the darkest moments can lead to the brightest strength.